What's going on, YouTube? I'm AGV King Raw, and this is AGV Webisodes. Right now, I want to talk to y'all about that Meek Mill and Wale beef. But this is the second video of the day. So if you didn't see the first one that I made the first video about J. Cole apologizing to the whole Kendrick Lamar fan base. So if you do want to go watch that other video, go ahead and go watch that. Like and subscribe. I appreciate all of that. It means a lot to me. But right now, like I said, what we talking about is this Meek Mill and Wale thing. It seems like every day we wake up, it's a new thing about Meek Mill. Whether it's a lie in certain lawsuits or if it's a new person he beefing with. And something that I really want to bring to people's attention is the fact that Meek Mill, like, I don't know. I'm not saying nothing bad about the person because I don't know him. But you ever been around a girl and then she's just like, oh, I hate niggas. It's like, oh, I can't. Girl they be like, oh, I can't keep a nigga or whatever. Every time you see her, she's just around a new guy. And it's the same way with guys. Like, every time you see them, they're around a new girl. And then, like, it's just like, it's weird. It's like a person, you ever make somebody and then they had like 15 jobs in a year. You be like, damn, bro, like, how you keep getting fired? And then they be like, oh, man, after workplace or after it's like, yo, if you can't hold a job, you can't hold a job. That's okay. Maybe you need to be a young Miami, or you need to be a Elon Musk. Maybe you need to be a Snoop Dogg. Maybe you need to be, you get what I'm saying? If you can't hold a job, the issue is with you in authority. It's not with the job itself. Like, you can't say, oh, all Chipotle's got to close down because they keep firing me. So you get what I'm saying? So you can't. That's what I feel like with Meek Mill. Like, Meek Mill is like the sheep that cried wolf. Cause it's like every time. Okay, he was beefing with Drake, but he was just beefing with Drake because Quentin Miller wouldn't work with him. So after DJ Drama released the fact that Quentin Miller was writing some of the songs, like reference tracks for Drake, Meek Mill blew it up, and he's like, "Oh man, we can't mess with you, sucker." And it's like, I don't think Meek Mill recognizes I don't think Meek Mill understands that it's a difference between the streets, the internet, and the industry. Like, that's three different things. So it's like even if you had the fans, even if you got the fans, that doesn't mean you're gonna have the internet. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of the time the internet is ran by like fake pages, and like a fake page will tweet something or say something or Instagram something, and then like it'll be a whole bunch of people that like it, or it'll shift something towards like your fan base, and it'll the way the caption will be written will be specifically like, you get what I'm saying, to the point where people just like you is gonna click it. And there's a lot of people just like you that don't mean they like you. So it's like, I think with Meek Mill, I don't think he understands the disconnect between the industry, the streets, and the yeah, you get what I'm saying, and the actual people in the internet, because it's like, it's three different things. But so what I'm saying is that when Meek Mill originally dropped Dreams and Nightmares, he was complaining because Wale didn't post his thing. He was on Twitter talking about, oh, you ain't MMG, whatever. So then after that, well, I don't know if it's after that, but in that process, Wale goes on to the Breakfast Club and they ask him, hey, what do you think about the beef? And he's like, oh yeah, he brought a pencil to a gunfight. So, in which I understand, because the reference in which he was speaking was more so based on the people that's around Drake, not Drake being the gun, but the Drake's partners being the gun. It's like having all of that versus you just having Rick Ross. It's like you don't really have that much artillery. Like, you can't, I don't know. But you get what I'm saying if you get what I'm saying. But you can't just sit there and like throw straight shots and then think it's gonna stick every time. You gotta be more orchestrated sometimes with certain moves that you make, and especially in a situation like that one, with a person like Drake. Like, so what I'm saying is that, I don't know. I think personally that Wale wasn't wrong for stating that, for saying what he said. He was wrong for saying it in general. Because if I'm on MMG and Wale is on MMG and you go up there and you talking crazy about me, like it doesn't even matter what they ask you. You're not supposed to be speaking negative on my name. You're not supposed to be putting no negativity on my name whatsoever. Especially if me and you is dogs. Like that's not how it works. You don't speak on something that got to do with the business unless it's positive. Like, you get what I'm saying? Or else they gonna look at us like, oh, okay, it's easier to break them apart because they're already apart. Like, people don't get that, but you'll get it when you get it. But what I'm saying is that if you thaw out broccoli, you get what I'm saying? This shit's all gonna fall apart. But if you leave that shit frozen and you sit there and hit it with a knife, it's only gonna break off little pieces and little pieces, but it's still gonna be a solid block until you sit there and thaw the whole thing out. So what I'm saying is that that's how it is with a family. That's how it's supposed to be. Like they can like chip and chisel little pieces and try to get at your mentality. But as a family, you're supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be orchestrated in a manner that you can't tear down that house. Because a family that pray together stay together. So if you ain't praying with me, you praying against me. And I think that's what Meek Mill felt when he seen Wale on that little podcast or Breakfast Club, whatever. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that I understand Meek Mill's mentality towards certain things. I just think that he doesn't understand the fact that it's a disconnect between the industry, the streets, and the internet. And once he understands that, it'll be a little bit easier for him to maneuver in certain situations. Because a lot of these artists that you probably like follow their Twitter or follow their Instagram, that's not really the artist. That's a label person, or that's somebody, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's getting paid to do that. Like that's their job. So with this situation, Meek Mill is kind of mad at Wale because Wale was just in Philadelphia with 2 Chainz, with a couple other people, but the main person that he was like photographed with was one of Meek Mill's old friends. His name is Dean. So Meek Mill and Dean ain't friends no more. I don't know why, but specifically, the thing I know for a fact is that Dean went on an interview saying, oh yeah, Meek Mill ain't no real one. He'll give us the chains before we go out and then take the chains back and da-da-da. But it's like, so that's the situation with the Dean guy. So we know for a fact that Meek Mill don't rock with Dean. So, but Dean being in Meek Mill's crew during the whole MMG days, I'm guessing that he grew a relationship with Wale. So Wale and Dean are kind of cool. But the thing about it that I feel is that if you think about it, I don't know if y'all heard about the 50 Cent thing where they talk about, oh, 50 Cent, one of his chains got took and then they had to go get El Chapo to get the chain back or whatever from, what is that, South Carolina or something over there. It was something over there. I think it was Young Buck or one of them boys. And then one of their entourages got robbed for a chain. And then, but the thing is, it don't matter who get robbed for a chain. If it's a chain and it say MMG, or if it's a chain and it say G Unit, it don't matter where you got that chain from. Bruh, right now, if somebody went on the internet and they showed up a chain and they said 21 and they said, oh, get it back in blood, there's no guessing who got that chain taken from them. You're not gonna question, oh, is it Lil Harold? Oh, is it Baby Drill? Is it 20? You gonna think 21. You gonna think 21. That's just the reality of it. That's the reality of it. That's real talk. So it's like, that's how I feel when it comes to certain situations. It's like, you gotta pay attention. Cause it's like a lot of people ain't paying attention. And it's like a lot of these people, like look at Polo G's sister spazzing out all across the yard and fighting with the mom and stuff like that. Certain people, when they get in certain situations and you're so close to something like that you can't believe, it's like you crash out. It's not even like you crash out. It's just like you feel like something's owed to you or whatever. And it's like What if Dean got caught somewhere trying to go bag a girl, or like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like, go grab one, and then somebody run up behind him. Oh yeah, let me get that. What is Meek Mill gonna do? What is it? What? That's a mark on Dream Chasers. When was the last time you heard a Shy Glizzy? You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? Like, if you take one of them chains, that's the whole. You might as well cut off everybody's neck, because ain't nobody eating no more. That's just how it is. Because there's a disconnect between the streets and the industry and the internet. Like, it could be a fake chain on the internet. They gonna look at you the same way. In the streets, only a certain section is gonna know, but they gonna know. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, bruh, if I had a crew of people and they had like AGV chains, you damn right I'm taking them AGV chains back at the end of the night. If you're holding one of my chains that say AGV on it, you gonna give me my chain back. Like, as soon as these pictures stop, I'm taking it back. Because especially if it got my name on the back of it, like engraved, and it's something that only gang got, bruh, if you get robbed for that, or if they take it off your neck, then what you gonna do? The only way you keeping something like that is if you paid for it out of your pocket and it say AGV, but it's yours. Like, you went to the jeweler and you was like, oh, just make me one of them pendants too. And then you put one on yours, but then, like, but it ain't mine. It's not from me. It's not from Raw. Like, you just got an AGV pendant. That's the only way you would have one. Because if it say my name on the back of it, oh, yeah, from Raw, you're not leaving around for me. Bro, your girl will probably steal your chain from you, sell it to her other boyfriend, and then now they talking about me in the little podcast, like I'm Future with OMB Peasy or something like that. Like, bro, you're not gonna play with my name. Like, this is just certain stuff that if it got you built something for a reason. You don't just let everybody get robbed for it. So I understand that. But the thing about it was Meek Mill was mad because he was like, oh, you been a hater, you been a hater. In which I don't really respect or understand. It's just Meek Mill be in his head so much that you think you're such an alpha male that nobody else can stand up. And it's like, sometimes it's best to keep quiet. This is one thing I learned from Drake for sure. Well, I guess I learned from his mom. The 3-day theory. Some days you gotta, sometimes when you deal with situations or information that you don't necessarily agree with, sometimes you gotta sit back, give it like 3 days, and then respond after the 3 days. And then after those 3 days, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna realize it ain't even necessary to respond to certain things. Because people just want you caught up in their rumble or in their tumble or in their wash machine, whatever you call it. But what I'm saying is that if Meek Mill responding to what Wale is doing right now is the same thing as J. Cole responding to Kendrick Lamar for the second time or third. I don't know how many times they didn't diss each other. It's stupid though. Like, what are we doing? We're sparring and ain't nobody gonna win after this. You're only sparring with me so more fans know your name. And that's not how boxing goes. Like, that's not how boxing goes. You're supposed to box up to a weight and then you could spar. But if you ain't on the same level, I shouldn't even be commenting on what you got going on. Because it's not the same level. Like, but we'll all get it when we get it. I appreciate y'all for watching, though. Thank you for watching, for real, for real. I love y'all. God love y'all more. Subscribe, all that. Thank you. Have a good one.